After returning from Europe, the guys had 6 more gigs in December to close out the year. Before the second single was killed, they had committed to these festival shows put on by radio stations to support the song. Now, with no radio campaign, the stations had nothing to play leading up to the shows. And though the shows were well attended, Kongos didn't make any money on the tour, and looming questions about the band's future weighed heavily.
I'm not saying I have the solutions to any of this. I just think that we're scattered for various reasons.
If we had a hit single, none of this shit would be...
We may not have a hit single ever again. Certainly not The Size of Come With Me Now. That was a fucking fluke.
When we had a hit, there was nothing getting in our way. We got all the interviews, we got all the fucking TV looks that we...
And we didn't parlay it. I'm not blaming us entirely. Our team fucked it up. We didn't parlay it into a career.
The emphasis was on milking a single instead of developing the band. We have squandered our energy in the last 6 months. All our energy's gone into the live show. Or, are you fucking kidding me? You put the wrong CD out. It's exhausting.
Well, everybody got their predictions wrong for this year. It's completely fucking wrong. We need a song to connect. It doesn't need to be huge. We just need to fucking not disappear.
We made a couple mistakes, but I think the handling of this launch of our, second major album was a complete fuck up.
I really feel like this band needs a rethink. I have a baby coming January. She's due in January. So I'm trying to mentally prepare for that.
In South Africa, in the Kongos!
They have one of the biggest hits of the summer.
In 2016, the band launched the Egomaniac touring and press cycle with a 2-week tour to South Africa. The brothers grew up in Johannesburg, and South Africa is where their music career finally took off in 2011. The guys were greeted at the airport by a rep from their South African label, an independent not affiliated with their U.S. label.
We'll be spending most of our time in Johannesburg, which is where we were originally from, and we've got a family home there.
Coming up here, when we get to this stoplight, is where we all went to school. Saheti School was a Greek school.
Founded by this guy called George Bezos, who was one of Nelson Mandela's lawyers, one of the most important civil rights lawyers of all time, and he started this school for the Greek community in South Africa.
Because people say, oh, we produce doctors and we produce lawyers and we produce this, that and the other, but we also produce musicians. We are very proud of you and thank you very much for coming back to your alma mater.
You had to learn Greek and Greek dancing.
It was all Greek to me.
We are at our South African childhood home in Johannesburg. Dylan and I used to stay in here. We shared a room. We shared this room.
This used to be the studio.
You hear how it used to be the studio.
Yeah, this used to be a big, just a gloss look through from the control room.
I'm on hard line right now. That's how excited Mo is to be here.
We are playing 3 shows out in South Africa, Oppikoppi, Cape Town, and Durban. And before that, we've got like a week off. We'll be working, but at the same time, we're going to try to show the crew a really good time.
The guys took the crew to check out some of Joburg's international food markets.
The only thing I don't like about these places is like 12 million options and it's impossible to choose, and you always feel like, did I get the right thing? And what style of food is this? Congolese. Oh, okay, cool.
He's Congolese.
All right. He's Congolese. She's Zambian. I'm Congolese. It's good.
So we've got some really expensive nosebleed seats for the rugby on Saturday. Usually the nosebleed seats are right at the back, but these ones are at rugby games. You get punched in the face right in the front.
I was riding on the Jubilee clock when I thought I heard.
Quick start to the game.
I was passing over Texas.
Where are we, Michael?
We're at the Radium Beer Hall.
Getting a cane trains, which is green cream soda and cane liquor. Looks radioactive and probably is radioactive. I was cured of that last time we were here.
None of the locals are drinking it.
Here's everybody.
It tastes like airplane glue.
No, it tastes like super good. Strong rum.
So this is a kind of beer that we have here.
The sorghum beer.
Yeah, the sorghum beer.
It's not bad.
This is what we call makunya. This is like an African croissant. Just take it to your mouth and bite it. Yeah, don't.
I got some vanilla ice cream. I'll be honest, it may just be the best vanilla ice cream I've ever had.
Good man, I saw you guys at the opening of Lincoln Park. Cool. I got this shit on my phone. Escape is my favorite.
The last show we played in South Africa was opening for Lincoln Park at Soccer City.
That's right.
So we played to 65,000 people, and we flew back to America, and I think 2 days later we played a show to like 12 people.
I'm shaking. It's amazing. I'm sweating. I'm so nervous.
In between excursions, the guys have plenty of work to do to prepare for their upcoming shows.
One of our expression pedals broke for Joe's rig, so I'm borrowing one from the guitar rig to see if I can make it work, which it looks like it will.
Mo and I built these cannons, smoke cannons, on, I'm only joking, smoke rings come flying out of the stage across the crowd. So we couldn't ship those because they're like 4 feet long by 3 feet wide, and they weigh probably 70, 80 pounds. So we had our friend Michael. He has a team that's working for him. He's built some cannons for us, and we're here just getting the fabric.
And we're looking for the fabric to use for our diaphragm of our cannon. So that's the part that you actually pull back.
Never heard him use the word diaphragm.
Yeah, I say diaphragm. Yeah, it's on the blueprints.
Oh,
yeah.
I've never heard you use that.
They're like white prints, but whatever.
Kongos, it is an absolute honor and a pleasure to be hosting you on this tour. The future of rock and roll. A few years ago, Just Music founder Carl Anderson said to me, I've got this band, you've got to hear, they're called Kongos, and you're not going to believe who their dad is.
I was born in Johannesburg in 1945, just after the war. I was raised by my mother and my grandmother, and then basically my grandmother, because my mom needed to make some money and I didn't see her that much. And my mom started the Casbah Roadhouse in this very small town in 1955. She subsequently built 2 more. They were incredibly successful. The first one in particular was the top roadhouse in the country. We refurbished the 3rd one, and it's called Johnny Guitar. My mother supported me in the whole music thing ever since the start. She was a self-taught pianist. She was always fanatic about music. I was 12 when she bought me my first guitar. I got together a few friends from school and we formed this band, Johnny Kongos and the G-Man. We did our first gig at school, in the school hall, and they went crazy, and that kind of changed my life, really. When I was 16, I had a #1 hit with the band, and that really started the whole music career.
That song ended up being the first of many #1 hits, resulting in John becoming one of South Africa's biggest recording artists.
One of the worst things to happen to me really was to be a teen star in South Africa, because I didn't realize how big the world was, and it took quite a while to make me realize, whoa, you got a long way to go.
I moved to the UK in 1966 to pursue music. I made a few records there, so then I toured the UK at a very low level. My first big hit in the UK as an artist was a song called He's Gonna Step On You Again, which I co-wrote with the keyboard player in the ex-band. I followed He's Gonna Step On You Again with a song called Takalash Man, which was based on this mythical bad guy little character in South Africa that is a sort of boogeyman.
With his career off the ground, he built a recording studio in London and ended up working with some of the biggest names in the music business.
I started building the studio in about 1970, and within 2 years we had a #1 record, in fact, out of there with a band called Dexy's Midnight Runners. A lot of people came through the studio. Probably the most well-known producer who used the studio extensively was a guy called Tony Visconti. And then Gus Dudgeon, who produced Elton John, also used the studio. I met Shelley in 1977. She was only going to be passing through London for about 2 weeks. She stayed there for 12 years. Subsequently, we had 3 kids in the UK. Johnny, Jesse, and Dylan were born in London, and Danny was born in South Africa. They all embraced South Africa and sort of grew up there and loved it,
Do you want to go back to England? Why not?
I don't know. Oh, Danny.
Why not, Dylan? Jess? Jerry? G? What is the reason you don't want to go back to England?
It's cold.
Yes? Are we close or what? Yeah, here you go. For an excess sales of 20,000, we have the golden one this side. There you go.
Oh shit, you spelled our name wrong.
Thank you.
So what we're doing tonight is we're having a braai, which is the South African word for barbecue, with basically our best friends that we've known for 25 years now.
He's making traditional Afrikaans or South African verse, which is called boerewors, which means basically farmer's sausage.
Things and buns, good moves.
Jesse's making pap and sauce, which means mealie pap, which is kind of like polenta, it's a cornmeal, and tomato sauce.
It was obviously nostalgic having a party at the place that you have so many memories from, especially when you basically take all the same people and make them older, They are the kind of people that you go away and you come back and you're right where you started.
The guys have interviews and acoustic performances with 3 of Johannesburg's biggest radio stations before an afternoon excursion to a traditional medicine market.
When we were here in 2012, that was kind of the kickoff of the actual career for us. So since then, things have been going pretty well.
Pretty smooth sailing.
Thank you so much for being on the Martin Besser Drive. Really appreciate it. Lekker to meet you. Hoeveel Afrikaans kan je nog onthouden?
A biggie.
Congos are here. Welcome back to the country, gentlemen. It's nice to have you.
Yeah, we took the whole crew down to a part of downtown Johannesburg where they have the Muti market, which is the sort of traditional African medicinal market.
It's like ingredients for healing potions and healing stews.
No, this one you soak it in water, and then you go around your yard, and then to chase away the bad spirits. If you need some luck, this is what you use. This is Gobongo. It helps you to communicate with your ancestors.
Roots and vegetables and bark and entrails.
This is called Imbiza. It's for cleaning blood. This is for cancer. This one is like a Viagra.
Claws, limbs, skins, fat.
There was an entire hollowed out monkey carcass. We weren't supposed to film the animal shit, probably because a lot of it's illegal.
This one is for calling, your loved one. It helps you to be invisible.
Oh, okay.
It helps you to be invisible.
This is the tricky part, to make it exactly go across. More towards me. Don't pull.
From outside, yeah? Steady.
That's a golf ball.
You put two on?
Yeah, I don't, but should I?
You gotta tilt up. That's for me.
There we go.
There it is. Perfect.
Daddy!
We're gonna make pizzas today. Have you ever been to a Kongos pizza party? No. It is quite an experience.
Everybody's great. The fight going on. Well, I guess it will come to an end. And in 100 years, they'll never focus while they die.
Here's everybody's job.
And water.
In 100 years, there'll be nothing you can do.
Take a shot.
I threw myself on the couch!
Before their performances, they take the opportunity to spend some time at a game reserve near the Kruger National Park.
It's just an incredible experience. They pick you up on Land Rovers, and it's about an hour drive to kind of take you down into the middle of the park where the lodge is. So they hand you a beer, you get on an open vehicle, and all of a sudden you start seeing animals.
We're in the middle of Africa in safari. And that's my friend. That's my buddy Rhino. It's a black rhino. No. It's a white rhino. I was going to say that next.
Welcome guys to Klaserie Camps in Katara, our little piece of paradise as we like to refer to it.
There's a guy, a chef, and a whole staff that basically take care. I mean, it's five-star accommodation, just pampered in the middle of the wilderness.
You feel like
fucking royalty at this place.
You guys want to wait? I've been seeing everybody's posts and all that stuff. I think we'll set a line. Don't worry about it.
It's 6:30 a.m. We're about to go out on our first morning game drive.
We have 2 guides in the different vehicles.
It looks like I've just found some tracks.
Really? Whoa, what is that?
That's the tracks of a Land Rover.
Just important that while we are approaching the sighting, while we are viewing that animal, and while we are leaving that sighting, that you guys stay as still as possible. Any movement or sound is going to draw the attention of that animal. And we're looking at one of 2 things are going to happen. Either fight or flight. And obviously we don't want either scenario. We want to get a nice visual of these guys, okay?
Okay, thanks, Martin.
Day 1. Game farm. Spotted vultures accumulating in trees. Wiseman says, must have been a kill. So, we then look for the carcass. We come over the ridge, and what do we see? Bing, bang, boom. Bridle lions. Feasting lions. Holy shit.
Holy shit. We got the call that the other vehicle had seen the lions, so we made our way over here. The lions are all feeding on a carcass of a buffalo. Then a rhino shows up, so the lions start to chase the rhino off. And then as we come to get a better view of the lion chasing the rhino, we come across a herd of 12 to 15 elephants across the ridge.
Oh, come on.
Can I take a whole one, or is it like...
He's pointing out the leopard tracks. He's like, these are fresh leopard tracks. And Mo's like,
so where do you think he's going?
What are they eating? Are these elephant tracks right here? Did we find out what lion poop looks like? Do you know what type of wood this is? What's their average body temperature, do you know?
I don't know.
Do you have dogs at home? Does the rhino eat meat? What type of beef is it?
Fillet.
Fillet. From what animal? Beef. Oh, beef. So that's a cow? Is the one in the middle smiling? Where's your family? What's a bird? How can you tell that's a baby?
That's a good question.
What animal would I be? Would I be?
I reckon you're a shinzel.
A shinzel? Is that a mongoose?
No.
Is it a bird?
It's a bush baby.
It's a honey badger.
honey badger.
A honey badger. Oh,
Yes.
honey badger. Oh, honey badger, cool.
I was gonna say warthog.
Warthog.
The sighting that we saw this morning was as good as I've ever seen. In 25 years, some of the greatest viewing I've had as a guide, so very special.
The guys spent 2 more days on the game reserve and were lucky to come across many more incredible sights.
Oh my God.
I've got visual still, but it's not going to be long. And there's a Madota here as well, big Madota. But they're moving fast.
Wow. Oh my God.
You know, I was almost as excited to see what the crew's response was, you know, first timers here on the game reserve, as I was to actually get here.
Johannesburg believe that this is where we are and how fucking awesome this is.
It's Oppie Copy Day.
What's Oppie Copy, man?
What's Oppie Copy?
What is Oppie Copy? Oppie Copy is fucking awesome.
This is like 3 days of just people losing their minds, drinking, getting sunburned. It's like any other festival except for the dust is crazy, and also South Africans can drink like no other people on earth that I've encountered. So we played in 2012, and it was crazy. That was one of the best crowds we've ever played to. This festival is legendary. It's been running for 25 years now, I think. But yeah, it's pretty special to come back to South Africa and be able to headline that festival.
2016 for us was, if we're honest, probably quite underwhelming. We also could have just gotten our hopes up too high based on Come With Me Now and the years before. But I think there were a lot of positive things. Like we went to South Africa, we got to take our whole crew to where we grew up and stayed in the house we grew up in and got to go to the game farm and Cape Town and all that.
Our tour in the US was encouraging that we saw where our real base is at in terms of hardcore fans that are going to come out to, I think, every tour and album cycle.
There was good shows and stuff. The best shows, I think Poland, I think Warsaw was up there, Moscow.
What were some kind of highlights for you for the past year? Getting pregnant, That kind of, that's in my mind a lot right now, obviously. I have a baby girl due in a couple of months. Less than 2 months, really. And that puts this all in perspective for me, because, all right, whatever, our album didn't do great. Who gives a shit, new life is coming, and that's where I'm at. Is that gonna kind of change your... Oh.
Thinks maybe the baby won't like the album.
That's the start of a new composition, isn't it?
Everywhere you've been, what you find's already been found.
Let's do our exercises, okay? Here we go. Right hand. 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pretty good.
Next time on Bus Call.
I don't want him to miss anything.
Hola, Mexico. We are Kongos. We are here in Mexico City. Fuck. Technical issues.
I hate today.
Props goes to Danny for living life to the fullest.
Los amo, Congo!